Hey kids, it's Mr. Flyers here, hope you're well. And welcome back aboard the mighty Honda Goldwing. You joined us on the A33, just north of Alton. And we're off on a bit of an exciting tour. It's exciting because we're going to have to be catching a ferry. Anyway, stick around and stay tuned. I'll tell you more about it in a second.
Next time you need to check the history of a motorcycle you're buying, use the link below and promo code FLYER to get 20% off your Car Vertical Motorcycle Buyers Report.
Alright folks, welcome back to the channel. And I won't film much on this road because it is a bit tedious clearly, but we're heading down to Southampton where we're going to catch a red funnel line over to the Isle of Wight. We've never ridden there before. We've been to the Isle of Wight lots but never on a motorcycle, so we're really looking forward to a few days riding over there. The weather forecast is set absolutely fair. It's going to be like the hottest few days of the summer so far. It's the middle of July or the end of July when we're filming this. It's currently 25 degrees and it's only about 10 o'clock in the morning. So anyway, we'll speak to you when we get towards the ferry. Okay folks, so wind on an hour or so and welcome to summer on the roads here in Blighty. We're just down near Winchester now, and unfortunately, as you can see, we've got this massive traffic jam, and a fully loaded Goldwing 2 up is not the best vehicle to be filtering on, I can tell you. So I'm not going to be doing too much. The only slight problem is we have got a ferry to catch and we had plenty of time, but this traffic jam could see that all get eaten away. Anyway, so a bit of jeopardy already on the video. Hopefully next time I speak to you we'll be boarding a ferry. Fingers crossed. So here we are folks, ready to jump on the ferry. We're on I don't know if we're going on first or last, but it looks like we might be going on first, so that's quite fun. And maybe Mrs. Fly here will walk on. I hate going on the ferries, it's always slippery, particularly on this big old beast. But anyway, speak to you when we're on board. Right, so after a bit of shimmying, we made it on. Look, we're first on. Yay. Pretty good, isn't it? It's always very exciting going on ferries, isn't it? Right, we've come up the decks of Red Falcon. Unfortunately, I'm firing into the sun a bit, so sorry about that. But what do you think so far then, Mrs. Flyer?
Oh, very, very exciting.
Last time, when were we on here?
2005.
Was it really? I don't even remember that.
Yeah, we stayed on the island for a week.
Oh yeah,
with our young family.
We did indeed. All right, it's about an hour's crossing. Most of that is going down Solent Water, and then it's about 5 minutes actually to the Isle of Wight. So shouldn't be long. We'll see you there. We'll give you a few views off the ship on the way. Nice and smooth, which is how I like it. I'm not big on ships, so that was absolutely fine. So welcome to East Cowes, folks. This is where all the boaty types come. That's probably why there's a Waitrose up ahead. Right, it's 2:15. We've got ourselves a 2:30 booking at one of our favourite eateries here on the island. A place called the Crab and Lobster at Bembridge, which is over on the east end of the island. So that's where we're heading now. See if we can get ourselves a bit of decent scran. Speak to you in a mo. So this is a first for me, folks, riding a motorcycle on the Isle of Wight. As I mentioned at the start of the video, I've been fortunate enough to come here many times over the years by other means, but never by motorcycle. So quite intrigued to explore it. We're here for a couple of nights, so we've got the rest of today, full day tomorrow, and then home the next day. And as I said, the weather forecast is fantastic, so it should be absolutely great. And if all the roads are like this one, look at the surface on here. This is unlike any other UK road I've been on. I haven't seen a single pothole yet. I don't imagine it's going to stay like that, but yeah, this road's an absolute corker. There's one road in particular that I'm looking forward to doing on the island, which is on the southern end of it, which is not built up. It's the old military road, and it sort of runs the length of the island from east to west, so I'm looking forward to doing that tomorrow. I think that'll be one of the riding highlights, because I don't think the island is festooned with good riding roads, but I'm prepared to be proved different. Okay folks, so I've just stopped and put in our destination for the pub in the sat-nav, and it's taken us down this nice little back road through the island. The Isle of Wight is a strange place. It's sort of, I describe it as oldie worldy, and that it's a little bit like going back in time. And I don't mean any disrespect to the islanders by that, but because it is an island, everything obviously has to be brought here from the mainland, which involves a bit of hassle, i.e. the ferry or similar. And you know, it tends to be, I mean, the economy of the island is obviously tourism, and then I think a lot of retired people tend to move here. I think the prices actually, given technically this is Hampshire in the south of England, the prices are actually quite good. You know, you can get a lot for your money compared to elsewhere in this area. But then you've got the added complexity of living on an island, of course, but you might like that. But it does feel like, you know, winding the clock back to the 1970s when I come here. Everything's a little bit slower, the pace is a bit slower, everything looks a bit 1970s. It's just got a charm about it that I like. And Carol's just reminding me that she really likes it as well, so it's just as well as we're here for a couple of days. So we seem to have climbed a bit of altitude in the middle of the island here, and absolutely cracking views out to our right. Just see through the gaps in the hedge there. Very busy on the island today. I guess it's because it's the height of holiday season. This is basically the first week of the schools being broken up, so we've probably come at the wrong time really, but we didn't plan this at all really. It was a very last minute decision to come. It was just based on there being a good weather forecast for the next 3 days, and we thought, given it's been such a bad summer so far, we can't waste this settled bit of weather by doing nothing of interest. So here we are, look at this. I think I'm right in saying there's absolutely no dual carriageway on the island, no motorways, nothing like that. This is about as major as the roads get. So on this eastern end of the island in particular, it can get quite busy because that's where most of the population and the tourist attractions and so on are. We shall explore the west end tomorrow. Still cracking views. So, welcome to the Crab and Lobster, folks, where we've got a noisy lawnmower behind us. Sorry about that, but it's a fantastic pub. There's a great view here. I'll try and show it to you. Looks a long way off on the wide-angle camera, but it's a great spot here just to chill, sit, have a shandy in my case, and a bit of prawn cocktail. Why not?
To start,
Indeed.
yes.
Yeah, okay, there is more coming. I'll be lying to say that's it. We are absolutely starving. Speak to you in a moment. So, lunch has arrived. Mrs. F has a crab salad, as befits the Crab and Lobster.
And it is the best place to eat it.
Yeah, agreed. Or, unless you're me, and you have a burger. That'll do nicely. Bon appetit. Okay, so thank you very much, the Crab and Lobster. We're parked by the bins here. Bizarrely, I've got Apple CarPlay to work, but it's connected to Carol's headset. She just plugged her phone in the back to charge up, and bingo bongo, Apple CarPlay's working on the wing. Let's see how long that lasts. Anyway, we're now heading off to our home for the next couple of days. Luckham Manor Hotel, I think it's called. It's about a half an hour ride, something like that. So let's go and see if we can find it. Bit tight out of the Crab and Lobster. It's not one of those places you would find unless you were looking for it. It's a great spot there. I have to say the food was only okay on this occasion, and also we thought it was a bit pricey. But so there we go. Maybe we'll give that a miss next time. But a nice spot nonetheless. Luckily on the island there are plenty of other pubs to choose from. Aircraft just taking off there from Bembridge Airfield. I don't know if you can see that with a wide angle lens, possibly not. There we go, just see it there. Cracking view as we come down again into the downs. And don't be put off by these clouds, even though it might be a little bit cloudy now. It's 20 to 5 in the afternoon, and and it's still 24 degrees centigrade, which for Blighty this year is pretty darn good. So I'm glad to say the weather forecasters were right. Right, this fancy pants sounding hotel we're staying at isn't actually that fancy. It's only a 3-star, but it's out the other side of Shanklin, which is a lovely little town. Not sure if we go through it to get there, but if we do, I'll show it to you. How about this, folks? We're just riding into, I think this is Sandown now technically. Again, when I've been here before by other means, we usually walk over the hills here and come down and walk along a footpath that runs all the way, in fact, into Sandown, and then you can get a taxi back to the airfield usually. But this time we have our own transport, so all is well. And there we are, folks. I'll give you Sandown Bay. Typical English seaside resort this. When you come through it, it's a bit there are parts of it that are a bit run down, some splendid buildings that have been kind of let go. 1 or 2 new ones they're building here as well, which I imagine will be pretty good in the future. This first one here, for example, but it could be really nice with some money spending, but I guess people just don't choose to holiday on British coastal resorts anymore. And you know, it's not just a thing for here, it's that's the case in pretty much all British coastal resorts that I'm aware of. Shame, because there's some amazing architecture up here that has just been let go. Where's the Honda Jazz going? Okay, that way. One of the features of drivers here is they don't use indicators. Or indeed their accelerator pedal. But anyway, we're not in any hurry, so it doesn't matter. Although 15 miles an hour, come on. See, look at this old building here. This would be amazing. Look, it's just gone to rack and ruin, basically. Similarly, this one here on the left would have been stunning in its day. What a shame. Well, no danger of us getting a speeding ticket, that's for sure. This driver would like it in Wales. I'm not actually an impatient rider, but you know, there's a limit, isn't there? What are they stopping for now? Unbelievable. Right, speak to you shortly when we got rid of the Jazz driver. Aha, here we are, Shanklin, twinned with Couvray, France. I don't know if we're actually going to go through the oldie worldy bit of Shanklin or not, but we'll see in a sec. I must say it's really nice to have Apple CarPlay working properly on the Goldwing. It's been stable so far this little trip. We'll see how it does, you know, long term, but the presentation of Google Maps is just top notch. Alright, so this feels very much like we're coming into the oldie worldy bit of Shanklin. There's a place down here called the Crab Hotel that's famous, but yeah, this is the bit, this is Shanklin as most people think of it. There's a cracking tea shop down here on the left as well. And a brilliant place down there called Shanklin Chine. We can walk through some sort of lush tropical gardens. There's the Crab. And this is the tea shop I was talking about, this pink building. Brilliant. If you ever get a chance, go in there and have their scones. Marvellous. Hopefully we'll be giving those a visit before we go home. Alright, according to Google Maps, our hotel is just down here on the left. And a bit of gravel to end the day, just what we need. Where are we going, Mrs. F? Stick it in there, shall I? That'll do for now. Fantastic, look at that. Looks alright, doesn't it? Brilliant.
So, welcome to Luscombe Manor Hotel, which it actually turned out it's pretty nice in here so far. We'll give you a full review at the end, but let me do a little, we'll show you the room. Mrs. Fly, I'm sure we'll do the usual tour. Over to you.
Bed, wardrobe, bath.
Massive, massive bed actually, isn't it?
King size bed. Haven't been in here yet. Oh, it's tiny, but it's fine. We're not going to be here.
Functional?
Functional, as long as they're all hot water, who cares?
Absolutely fine. Right, so we're going to settle down. probably have a little walk into Shanklin or something, but we'll see you tomorrow on the bike.
Bye.
Well, good morning folks, it's the next day and welcome back to the Isle of Wight, where the sun has come out once again. Absolutely glorious day, fantastic day ahead, where we're going to spank that military road, which is the whole point of coming here today. So I'm heading for that now. We're just coming out south from Shanklin, heading towards a place called Blackgang Chine, which is kind of the start of that military road, if you like. Vaguely anyway, I'm kind of following my nose a little bit. Great night last night, we just had a little wander into Shanklin, nice meal, a few drinks as you do. And then a great breakfast this morning at the hotel. Sadly I forgot to take any pictures of it, but maybe tomorrow I'll capture some. Got Mrs. Fly on the back of the bike again, she might like to wave. The L360 cameras are brilliant when it comes to touring. Yeah, Mrs. Fly just said where else would she be, that's a fair point. Of course you could be on your own bike. Maybe next time we'll come here with two smaller bikes. The Wing is brilliant 2-up, but I must admit on our little Kawasaki's this would be fantastic. Check out that view ahead, look. The wide angle camera or lens on the camera always makes things look less spectacular than they are, but it's an absolutely cracking view to wake up to. One thing we have noticed around here, I mentioned that the island attracts, should we say, people from the older generation. Whenever we've parked up with the Wing, we've ended up with a crowd of dusty looking folk admiring the bike, which is great. Some have been ex-bikers, just talking to a gentleman that used to own a Douglas Dragonfly, whatever one of them is. But when we were coming off the ferry, there was a whole coach load of people admiring the bike, so that's great, who weren't bikers. So it's one of those things, isn't it? Although I love the Goldwing as a 2-up tourer, I appreciate lots of people think they're ridiculous bikes, but non-bikers absolutely love them. I guess it's a bit like a Harley in that respect. Anyway, for our purposes, it's an absolutely awesome machine, and really looking forward to exploring this road today. So our rough plan today is to do sort of a lap. We're going to head up that military road, see what that's like. That takes you to the Needles on the west end of the island. Then we're going to head to the port of Yarmouth, which is just a nice little boaty place. And then we'll, towards the end of the day, head back towards Shanklin again. Should be a top day. It's not a bad day in the office, is it? It's a Tuesday. So the route to take us towards the start of that military road takes us via a village called Godshill, which, a bit like Shanklin, is another of the Isle of Wight's famous sites. It's just a lovely little road with some nice houses on it. Hopefully we'll get to show you those shortly, so stick around and stay tuned for some more sunny views of the Isle of Wight. Alright, just stopped here at this little petrol station. They seem a bit few and far between, just because we did a top up from the trip yesterday. Plugged Carol's phone into the back of the bike and suddenly CarPlay's working again. It won't work with my phone. Hers, which is an older iPhone, it does. Really weird. But anyway, this Google Maps presentation is absolutely brilliant on here, so that's great. So we've tapped in the Needles, and the route does take us via the military road, which is what we want to do, so happy days. Okay, so we're just coming into Godshill now, which is that little village that I mentioned at the start of the day's riding, which is very picturesque. I'm not sure which way we're going to come through it, but there's a little hill and a few cottages. Hopefully we'll see that on the main road here. We don't have to turn off somewhere. What an absolutely glorious day for it. Oh, 20-mile-an-hour limit, look at that, they've gone the Welsh way. Well, I'm quite happy to slow down to enjoy the view. There we go, 20 miles an hour. And here we are, check this out. And I assume it's called Godshill because the church is right on the top of the hill. Look, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Feast your eyes on this, folks. How English is this? I mean, technically the Isle of Wight is part of Hampshire. Well, actually I think these days it might actually be its own separate county, but traditionally it was always part of Hampshire. But you know what island people are like. They like to have a separate identity, don't they? So they've probably fought and won for their own. Actually, where am I going? Straight on. Look at that, absolutely splendid. Yeah, fought and won for their own county. I think that's the case. I think there might be even an MP for the Isle of Wight now. I'm not sure. I'm sure somebody will put me straight. Just when we were stopped at the petrol station there, we got chatting to another biker who was on one of those Honda CB650Rs with the auto clutch. mechanism. First one I've seen in the wild, so that was quite fun. So we discussed the pros and cons of automatic gearboxes on, actually I want to go this way, on motorcycles. Right, so we'll be joining the that southern military road soon, and we've chosen a great day to do it because the temperature is 28 degrees centigrade, and according to the weather forecast this morning, this is going to be the hottest day this year. I think it's July the 29th, something like that. So we chose a good day for it. Okay folks, welcome to the southern military road. Look at that view ahead, absolutely corking. Behind us is Black Gang Chine, which is a popular sort of family tourist attraction, and as a kid we used to holiday on the Isle of Wight and I absolutely loved going there. But I don't know what a chine is. It might just mean cove in Isle of Wighty speak, but I know it's very much a place where smugglers used to come and make land. I don't know what Black Gang means, draw your own conclusions, but certainly it's like a smuggler's cove down there. Anyway, we're about to join the military road, as Google Maps is helpfully telling us. So we've got 13 miles of what I think is going to be absolutely fantastic riding and amazing coastal views. I don't know if you remember, a couple of years ago there was talk of running an Isle of Wight TT, and some big names were involved in getting it set up. Unfortunately COVID killed it, but that was going to be based preliminary on this military road as part of that road racing circuit. So it should be a good ride. I reckon it's possibly the best riding road on the island. Having never ridden it, I don't know, but we'll find out. You certainly can't fault the views so far. I think I might need to engage sport mode and try and get past these cars when I get a chance. Typically the eastern end of the island where we're heading has actually got a lot less traffic, so I was hoping for a clear run, but maybe wishful thinking on a sunny day in the school holidays. Hello sir, somebody on a Triumph Street Triple, and another one, an older one. Right, hold on Carol. Check out the trike. Get down there, boys. Yeah, I can see why they were going to use this road as part of that Isle of Wight TT. It's definitely got echoes of the Isle of Man mountain course, isn't it? Well, if this road was closed and you had a clear run, imagine the speeds that sports bikes could get up to down here. Crazy. Yeah. So I didn't do my research before setting out, but the Isle of Wight, in case you're wondering, isn't that big. I suspect from you know, its longest east to west run is kind of diamond shape, if you like. I imagine it's about 25-30 miles, something like that. Maybe I'll look it up and put the correct dimensions on the screen. And then it's a little bit narrower, sort of south to north, so you can easily cover the whole island in, you know, half a day, particularly on this road. Fantastic. Lots of cars parked up here. I was a campsite, people down there in the sea enjoying the sunshine. Been so little of it this year, people making the most of it. 28 degrees now according to the bike. Fantastic. This is what summer's all about.
So, after that invigorating ride down the military road, we've found this National Trust car park by our beach. So we've stuck the bike in this little spot here, which is just perfect, off the gravel, and we're going to go and spend a couple of hours on the beach. So, see you later. Right, well, we've managed to pack pretty much everything into the Goldwing, which is incredible. We've left our helmets, our jeans, our boots all on the bike, so we're able to carry our jackets.
Because we haven't got a lot.
But other than that, Mrs. Flyer cautioned me to bring a hat on this trip, but I didn't listen. But we've improvised using Mrs. Flyer's neck buff. So, no, what did you make of the military road?
I really enjoyed it. The views were fantastic. Some little villages, looking over the fields, pretty cottages, and the best bit for me,
Sport mode.
yeah, sport mode, obviously. Sorry, the views, and then the beach.
Check this out. We'll show you the beach we're going to.
Look down there. Absolutely glorious.
Okay, so thank you, the Isle of Wight coast down the beach. It was absolutely cracking down there. We spent about 3 hours chilling out on the beach. Very nice indeed, but it is now super hot, it being the hottest day of the year so far. According to the Mighty Wing, it's got an air temperature of 30 degrees now, and this is the coolest part of the country on the coast. Where we live, it was going to be considerably hotter, so I'm quite glad we're here, although wearing the full jackets and stuff. I'm kind of wishing I wore my summer vented jacket like Carol did. She's got a fancy Halverson's one on, which is really cool, but I'm in a normal jacket, albeit a light one, but I'm absolutely cooking. Right, we're off now to Allen Bay, which is the home of the Needles. Try not to kill cyclists as I go. And we're really hoping that we can find an ice cream van up there, because where we were parked back there was a National Trust place, which is great because we're members of the National Trust. That cost us nothing to park there. But the ice cream van shut at 3, and we got there at 3:05 as we got back to the bike, and they weren't budging to sell us an ice cream. So there you go, that's a British service for you. Anyway, check out the rest of this military road. Look, snaking round and up that cliff. How fantastic is that? What an absolutely cracking road this has turned out to be. These cliffs are forever eroding away and are well known for finding things like fossils. I mentioned earlier Black Gang Chine. That's a spot where a lot of fossils have been found at the time. And where we're going at Allen Bay is very famous for its coloured sands. If you're a fan of Blue Peter from the 1970s, you may remember that they went and got some coloured sands via a chairlift there then. Happy days. I don't think we're going to be doing the chairlift today though, although I'm sure it'll be operational. Too flipping hot for that caper. Bit of welcome breeze as we climb up onto the top of the cliff. Quite busy for a Tuesday afternoon. This path is closed here because it has all eroded away. A lot of the coastal path which goes around the whole island unfortunately is gone near where we're staying in Shanklin. Normally you can get down to the beach from our hotel, but actually it's eroded away, so you can't at the moment. And they're constantly battling erosion here. I mean, this road, look, is literally 20 yards from the edge of the cliff. Won't be long until this road's no longer passable, I imagine. Give it a few years. What a shame that'd be. The little bay you see ahead, this little inlet, you might just be able to see it on the wide angle lens, is called Freshwater Bay. There's a poem on the Isle of Wight, I can't remember how it goes, but it includes things like, you know, various place names, things like ride where you walk, fresh water that you can't drink, that kind of game. Not a very good poem. Hello sir, out on his GSXR. Not many roads on the island he can exercise that. Okay folks, according to Google Maps we've only got 0.8 of a mile to go to the Needles. This road surface here is absolutely lovely. Look, this one's been relayed. If only they were all like this. There are some fairly narrow winding roads on the island, but I have to say we've not seen terrible surfaces and loads of potholes like we see at home. I guess it just doesn't have the volume and weight of traffic that we have. Here we are over in the far horizon. Actually I can see Bournemouth and Can't remember what that bit of land sticking out is. Studland, is it? Studland Bay? In the haze. I don't think this road goes anywhere except the Needles, so they've obviously relayed it for tourists' sake. What does this say? Welcome to the Needles and Allen Bay. Oh, nice and cool in here as well. Right, we're going to park up, see if we can find ourselves some refreshment. Alright, so we found what seems like the most stable place on the car park. One of the challenges of bringing the big wing out is you don't really want to go on slopey car parks that are gravel, which there are a lot of here, aren't there?
Yes.
So anyway, we found this is another National Trust car park. It has got a bit of concrete here. We parked in a bit of a rubbish place, as you can see, but we're not blocking anything. Anyway, we're going to wander down here. There's some sort of attraction we passed. We're going to see if we can find an ice cream in there. So we've come down to the sort of attraction. They've built a big family sort of attraction thing here since we last came many years ago. I'm hoping we can sneak through it all and find a view of the Needles themselves, but I'm not holding out huge hope at the moment. Right, we've made it to a viewing platform. Check this out. It's a little bit distant through the wide angle lens, but I'll get the iPhone out and try and zoom in. Hopefully you can see the Needles. It's an interesting sort of geological stacks, I guess, with a lighthouse at the end and a helicopter pad on the top. Used to be the site of a radio wireless station, apparently, that connected with Poole and Bournemouth, which you can just see in the distance on the headland.
Finally, mission accomplished. Blueberry, which was the
Only thing I had left.
Yeah, or candy floss or bubble gum, and everyone else has sold out of everything.
They all sounded a bit grim, but this is all right.
This is
£4
all right.
though for 2 scoops. Outrageous, don't you think? However, needs must when it's extreme.
I don't
What?
care.
It's all right, to be honest. All right, never mind the ice cream. It's time for the proper stuff. But don't panic. Oh, it's lager shandy. It's not the real thing.
And we won't be riding for an hour.
Mind you, it goes down flipping well, doesn't it?
Yeah, we just need a cold drink.
Right, thank you, Allen Bay and the Needles. What's this fella doing? What an absolutely stunning evening still. It's now just gone 5 o'clock. It's 28 degrees, look, still. Absolutely fantastic. Next stop on our little whistle stop tour of the Isle of Wight today is Yarmouth, which is a sort of nautical place. There's a nice little bay there with a few yachts moored up. I don't know if there's much else to see, but we'll ride up that way, purely because we haven't been up there yet. And according to Google Maps on the old Apple CarPlay, it's only 4.6 miles away. That is the beauty of the Isle of Wight. Everything's quite close. The windscreen on the old Goldwing is starting to show a few battle scars now, the triplet. Bit of fly carnage going on. Got a bit of washing to do when I get home tomorrow. This is called, rather encouragingly, Cliff Road. And you may be able to see right in the distance, look, you can see some industrial buildings of Southampton. You can see across the Solent back to the mainland there. Mainland UK not far away. Oh, look at these fancy houses. Ooh, that one in particular, very nice. I'll just pop the camera on briefly to show you the car ahead. Look at that, an old Triumph TR7 convertible job. You don't see many of those anymore, do you? What a cracking car. In my youth I lusted after those, and of course it's a Triumph, so that's a good thing. If I remember rightly, they're designed by the same fella that designed the Lotus Eclat. Do you remember that? And I think the Lotus Esprit, and also the TVR Tasman, which all kind of look a bit similar. Yeah, look a bit dated today, but in its time, a desirable car, particularly the V8 version that they did towards the end of its run. I think that was the TR8, in fact. Okay, now if I'm not mistaken, the little port at Yarmouth is just around this corner. Hopefully we'll get a decent view of it. There's a bridge that goes over the sort of port mouth, if you like. Here we go. Yeah, this looks vaguely familiar. To my left, that you probably won't see much through the 360 camera, but that is obviously the port itself. Here we are, Yarmouth. Told you it's a little place. But quaint and worth it just to come over this bridge. Boats always make for good pictures, don't they? There's just something about them. Isn't that cool? Yes, you can get a ferry here, look, to Lymington, which is the closest bit of the mainland over that way. Yeah, so if you're into boats, this is the place to come. Lifeboat in as well, look. And cars getting ready to go on the ferry by the looks of it. Okay, from here we're going to head back now towards Newport, which is the capital of the island, and then back to our hotel in Shanklin, where tonight we've got, or we're hoping to go to, a really nice little cafe stroke restaurant we found for our supper. I say hoping to go because we went there last night, but you can't actually book a table. But they have got plenty of tables. They did assure us that we'll be able to get in okay. But it looked really nice. So yeah, we'll get there and we'll speak to you at supper for the little sort of closing thoughts on our little bike trip to the Isle of Wight. Speak to you then.
So welcome back to ye olde Shanklin. We made it back. Lovely evening. This is the classic view of Shanklin just here, look.
That's the Crab Hotel, looking very lovely with its thatch. But where we're heading is the amazing place just up the road here. We'll show you in a second.
Well, I say amazing place. We'll find out. We've not eaten there before. So this is the place. How pleasant is this? It's called the Vernon Cottage Restaurant. It's got rave reviews. Some people recommended it to us in the pub last night, and it just looks lovely. It looks nice garden. And although I haven't had any food yet, I can vouch that the beer is absolutely great. Okay, so that was the Vernon Cottage. We were going to show you our meals in there, but unfortunately they were playing music and we couldn't do a video because of copyright strike reasons. Anyway, lovely evening, Carol, isn't it? Absolutely splendid.
It's been beautiful.
Brought our little Isle of Wight trip to a close.
Yep.
So what is your favourite part of the trip, would you say?
The weather, everyone out enjoying themselves. It is height of the tourist season, so everything's really busy, but it was lovely to be open.
You say it's really busy. Look at this street. It's because we're dirty stop out. So anyway, carry on.
It's 9 o'clock in the evening, and it's, yeah, everything finishes a little bit earlier, shall we say. It's been lovely to be out, seeing people enjoying themselves, lovely to be out on the bike, and the beach, for me, being in the sea, oh, I love it.
It's all good.
You know I love it.
I do. It's been great. It's been, for me, it's been, because I know you're about to ask that, it's being out on the Goldwing's been great, isn't it?
No, yeah.
And just exploring the island again. As we've mentioned, you know, we're quite familiar with the Isle of Wight, but we haven't been here on the bike before, so that's been great.
Wearing a vented jacket. Woo, and not being
I wish
cold.
I had. I wish I had been.
Woo.
Anyway, so that's all well and good, but how much did it all cost, Carol? Because these things don't come cheap, do they?
No, they
primarily
don't. So ferry, £63 return. I think a smaller bike would be slightly cheaper because that's what it was when I originally looked at the prices. And that's Southampton to East Cowes, but there are other routes as well. Hotel was £400 for 2 nights bed and breakfast, which is expensive, but it's peak holiday season and we got what we could. Hotel was clean, breakfast good.
And it was a last minute booking as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, and there was a pool there as well. And it was in the area we wanted to be, which is really quiet.
Yeah, it was a 20-minute walk to here in Shanklin, so it's absolutely fine.
It's a 10-minute walk.
Depending on how drunk you are. But anyway, yeah, good though, wasn't it? Great trip. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Well
lovely.
worth the money. Great fun. Good to be out on the wing.
Yeah, and
fab to get some good weather.
Yeah, this is the first good weather we've had.
Well, this summer, really.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that was kind of a practice run for our big Euro tour that's hopefully coming in a month or two.
And I've got to pack less.
Yeah, it's a packing practice as well. So anyway, stick around, stay tuned if you want some more tours. There'll be more coming soon. But until next time, this has been the Mist and Flyers.
Cheerio.
Cheerio.